Well, that's not going to help anything.
So then, no, that's okay. So I guess people are watching now, and welcome to all of you who are out there, students of U of M, watching our rehearsal. And we thought we would start this morning by talking a little bit about how we tune. What we've discovered oftentimes when we work with young ensembles is they often don't have a system for tuning, and often don't take enough time to tune their instruments. And of course, that's one of the most important things that you can do when you're playing ensemble music, is to make sure that your instruments are in tune with one another. So typically, when most ensembles tune, you usually will start with tune from the cello, like if it's a string quartet or the viola. In our quartet, because Carl is the one who usually tends to get to tuning his instrument first, he's the one who gives out the A. He tunes his violin to a tuner or to a tuning app on his phone, and so he'll be in charge of giving out the A this morning.
Want that now?
Yeah, go for it.
I already did take. By the way, I take 441. If anyone's interested, that's what I usually tune to. So.
Well, and also we also tune one by one. We do not tune
right.
simultaneously.
That's an important point.
That's an important point. And it helps if your strings are not false, as my D string is.
Tell, we don't mind making you wait. There's no rush in tuning. Yeah, and then oftentimes in a string quartet, you'll want to have the cello and the viola check their C strings.
Well, that's terrible. I think the A is okay. I think it's the rest of it. I find these fine tuners have a bit of a lag. Is that any better?
Yeah.
And for those of you who are working in a piano trio, as my group is, I've asked I am asking you that the cello take the A from the piano with a D major chord, not a D minor chord, and that the cello then gives the violin the A, that you tune them within yourselves, and also that the cello checks the C, the low C, with the piano C. All very important.
Yeah, that's all really, really important, because cellists, we often are tuning to pure fifths, but the piano is not tuned in pure fifths. So if we do tune in pure fifths, our C string is going to be very low to the piano. So that's why Glenn is suggesting that.
Where's your C? I think I brought it up enough, I'm not sure.
That sounds good.
All right.
That's good.
Now, the other thing is that if we were in person, if you guys are here with us in Ava Claire Hall, we would be asking you for questions. We would probably be asking you questions, and we would be also asking you to ask us questions. We would welcome you to put comments into the chat, although right now it says chat is disabled for this live stream, so hopefully that can change. But we will be monitoring the live stream as well, and so if you have questions or comments, if you want to talk about Carl's wardrobe, please feel free.
Or how about your shirt,
Or-
which is quite lovely?
Yeah, your wardrobe is much, much better than mine.
I had other rehearsal for this before this.
We also want to say this is a rehearsal, so, things are changing as we go, including my microphone, which seems to not be cooperating today. So we're going to have little technical issues, and that's all part of rehearsals too. So. Oh, and apparently the live chat is good to go, so.
I'm just going to refresh so that I have that.
Gravity to work for us a bit better here, hopefully.
So, yeah, things are, it's a rehearsal. That's kind of why we rehearse, right? So we can deal with these things.
All right, yes. Here, I see the chat, so I'm going to say hi, everybody, in the chat. Okay, so, Gwen, do you want to tell people what we're rehearsing right to
All right,
start
so
off with?
we are rehearsing for our concert that we are giving here at the very beginning of December. I think it's December 1st, believe, or December 3rd? The Friday of that first week of
I'm
December.
not sure, actually.
We'll get there when we get there. We do have it in our books, so we will be here. So we are going, for that program, we are going to play the String Divertamento. It's for violin, viola, and cello by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. This is an early work of his. It is very much in divertimento form, so it has extra movements in it.
Late work, 563.
You told me it was an early work yesterday.
I did not.
No, he said the opposite.
I said the opposite. Anyway,
It's a late work. I am so sorry. It is also in what I think is Mozart's very best key, which is E-flat major, and this I am sure about, as opposed to my previous comment, which we all are quite capable of jumping in on each other's comments. E-flat major is, I think, a key that was reserved for some of the most sublime works of Mozart's, including this very one. It is incredibly beautiful, full of character, three very difficult parts for all three of us. And so what we thought we would do this morning is run the first movement, because we did rehearse that a few days ago, and just double check where that is. And the second movement, which we rehearsed 2 days ago, and then we were going to go into a very extended variation movement, which we have not rehearsed. And so that's when you'll start to see what we really do when we rehearse. Is there anything I've missed?
We're good, let's go.
All right.
Are we going to do the repeats right now or no?
No.
No, let's not do the
Straight through. Okay.
Let's go straight through.
Oh, one
What?
thing that I had said I was going to do and I didn't is put a link into the chat for
Oh,
this
yeah.
piece so
Oh,
that
right.
you can follow the score if you like. And I'll just do that quickly right now. Oh, here we go. IMSLP. What's the key number again?
563.
6-3, according to this.
Except it's,
There's
yeah, it's
542 or 563, like there are two crucial numbers which keep getting,
I should be able to find that.
because there's no autograph for this music currently. They believe one exists in somebody's private collection, but there are two sources, and so that's a whole nother story, which we will get to gradually as the rehearsal unfolds.
All right, so I'm almost ready to give you guys a link. Let's make sure it's the right one. Yay, it's the right piece.
All right.
Okay, so if you want to follow along in the score, click on the link in the chat, and you'll be able to see what we're doing.
please do not comment on wrong entrances, wrong notes, or anything that's,
Or bad intonation.
or bad
of the viola.
intonation. We'll do that ourselves. Thank you very much. Here we go. Can we just stop for a minute?
Sure.
I have a question, 47. Gwen, what bowing
I
are we
did the
doing?
bowing wrong.
Oh, did you?
I
Okay.
screwed up.
The piano you have is on the second eighth note, right?
Correct, and it was supposed to be on an up bow, and I did not
Okay,
do that.
fine, perfect. I just wanted to confirm that.
Yeah.
I
that
also want to ask if we're good with this tempo. The reason I ask is because it feels a little quick.
It feels faster than we've done it before.
It does feel just a little hurried somehow.
Sure.
Anyway, we can go on and maybe we'll just let it be a little more.
Yeah, well, we
Open
could be
subject.
slightly recording anxiety.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm nervous.
Well, you might not be, but I might be.
Gwen is playing an instrument that is not her usual instrument.
Correct.
Of course, she's playing the viola today. So.
All right, shall we go on?
Should we go on?
Or do we want to play that again?
Up to you.
Let's
Let's
go
go
on.
on. Yeah. See, we all come to the same conclusion. That felt better.
It did feel better. I thought, I don't know how much slower it actually was, but for sure it was just a little
breathing a
extra.
bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Breathing is good.
Breathing is
Yeah.
always good.
Is there anything else we wanted to talk about in this movement? I mean, you can see from this, we've kind of worked a lot of stuff out already, where we're going to take time, how we're going to take time, who we're going to follow in places. And so this one we are just playing because we want to let it settle before. And the next movement, similarly.
Similarly.
So, yeah, these first two movements, we just want to kind of get them more in our heads, but we've actually done some of the work already.
So we talked a little bit about editions earlier. We have 2 editions that we're working off of. One has, they're both very highly regarded urtext editions, but there are 2 sources, because there is no manuscript, there are 2 sources that are used for this piece, and Bärenreiter has used one source and Henley has used the other source. And it's quite interesting, they do not match up in many, many places. So very early on in our rehearsing of this piece, we realized that some of us were using Henley and some of us were using Bärenreiter. Carl has got the Henley app, so he's using Henley. I had given out Bärenreiter parts to everybody, and Yuri was using his Henley parts.
But now I'm on Bärenreiter because that's what I played the last time and it has all my markings in it. So.
And I'm going back and forth.
We don't really recommend using different parts, but it just kind of did work out that way.
But it is good, and it's good to consult different editions.
For sure.
And one of the things I sent you in the link is the Bärenreiter score, which is interesting. Bärenreiter, there are some Ortex Bärenreiter scores on IMSLP because they were done in the 60s. Some of these great works, so they're not under copyright anymore. But you'll also see if you just look for Mozart Divertamento, you'll find a number of different editions in IMSLP. One of which would be some of which would be really early editions, which are usually harder to read, and sometimes there's even manuscript copies of things, which are hard to read but very interesting to look at. And you'll see with this particular piece, it has Breitkopf parts and score, as well as the Bärenreiter. And Breitkopf is interesting to consult as well. It usually corresponds to what you might find in a Peters edition part, and they tend to be well edited, although often with kind of old-fashioned principles, musical decisions and things like that. So it's good to kind of check. If you want to know the tradition of how something was played, look in Breitkopf. If you want to know what the latest scholarship tells us about slurs and wedges and dots and all that kind of stuff, look in Henley or Bärenreiter.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we're moving into the second movement now?
Yeah,
or?
we're going
Sure.
to do a similar sort of a run,
Okay.
was the plan.
There's no repeat on this one, is there?
There is, but we're not doing it.
Oh, there is. Look at that.
You'll notice in this piece, unlike a lot of Mozart chamber music, there is a lot for the viola and cello to do in this work. It's really demanding work gives everybody a good workout. And you'll hear that right at the beginning of this piece, the cello actually has the melody. Such as it is.
That's why this had to come out.
Of course.
All right, here we go. It's long and hard, that one, eh?
Yeah.
Yes, I
Goodness, my
feel- My
goodness.
shoulder feels,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we find slow movements can be some of the most taxing from
Absolutely.
not just from a concentration standpoint, but also from a technical and just endurance,
physical
standpoint. Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually important to play it through once in a while too, so you know what you're getting into when you play it for real.
Especially a piece like this, because I don't think we mentioned this already before, but this divertimento, being a divertimento, it doesn't have a usual kind of four-movement form that you might find in a string trio or a string quartet more regularly. But this one, because it's a divertimento, it can have as many movements as Mozart wants, basically.
Which is 6 in this case.
Yeah.
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 Variations and an extra minuet
Yeah.
structure type thing.
That's right. A double, actually.
It's a double, yes.
It's
it
a
is
double one, yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Personally, I would like to just touch on a couple of intonation things because the room is new to us, like the
Okay.
opening.
I thought it was much better than it was the last time we did it.
Yeah, I just wanted just to double check. I didn't think it was bad.
I'm more concerned about the balance, is how that goes. I have no
Mhm.
idea where that is at.
Yeah.
Um,
And of course, the balance we're getting is different than what
You may not be hearing the
is
same
what's
thing
going on
every-
over
Right.
online, so, but, yeah, we can't control everything.
no.
I also wouldn't mind doing just the intonation sort of at 112.
112. That was,
Oh, yeah.
And how are we getting into that? Because I kind of went into it this time, and I felt like maybe that was wrong. Maybe I should have slowed up into 112, I'm sorry.
not necessarily.
I think we just didn't.
I actually thought 108 was where we had sort of the first really major difference of opinion as to which direction we were going.
Right, fair enough.
Up until there, I thought we were pretty cohesive. But so anyway, you want to try the beginning one more time? You
Um,
said?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if that's
Sure.
okay. And can we do it once, just you and I, just so we,
Yeah.
actually, can you, we'll just
So
find the
they-
first chord. Well, let's
Yeah.
play the first chord, so. Play the second chord.
2 bars.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah, and it sounded right to me when we did it too. I think it's maybe a balance issue, you're just not
Right.
hearing.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those areas, you know, you kind of want to double check because it
No,
has to
for
be
sure.
right, so. Can we just play the first 5 bars or something?
Yep.
That's fine. Just out of curiosity, did you want a cue? Do you want to give the cue?
Oh, I guess that makes sense, wouldn't it? 'Cause
I mean,
have
it's
the
up to
melody.
you. You want to try it once?
Sure,
or
let's try it.
So Carl, I'm listening to Yuri for
For the E flat, or the A flat,
for A flat, and then also for the next
yeah.
third bar.
Sorry, one more time. You're cool.
Feel comfortable?
It did?
It's really up to the two of you.
Yeah, so usually the violin or first violin can cues things, but obviously sometimes that can change depending on the musical context. Did you say you wanted to do 113? Getting into 113?
I did, yeah.
Or what was it?
Well,
Can we
Gwen,
go before that?
yeah, do you want to go from like 105 or 3?
103?
Sure.
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 Are you going to go into that because it's deception, or are we going to come away from it?
I was not going to, but
Okay,
what are we
no,
doing?
no,
No,
I'm
I-
just asking, because I don't have it put in my part.
The first time, so what we had
I
read from the
remember.
first time
The
is
first time we're
38,
coming away.
so we're coming away with a writ. We may want to do it differently this time.
You want to try it both ways?
Sure.
Okay, which is this way?
The right way. So,
Okay, which is that way, Yuri?
Which way would you like that to be today, Yuri?
no, let's do it, let's go into it.
Okay.
This- Now, coming
Either way?
It's a little bit of a weird chord, but, do we have a preference?
It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, I think we just demonstrated the two different directions we can go.
Yeah,
But we probably need a bigger picture than that to make it.
let's say for now, let's go into it.
Okay. Just so it's,
Because it's different.
because it's
Just so
different,
it's
right?
different this time.
Got
A pencil.
Whoa. We've been doing this for 40 minutes and Yuri finally needed a pencil.
That's 25 cents in the jar. At least Carl hasn't sworn yet.
Carl
You're
doesn't
right.
swear
At
anymore.
least.
Not very often, anyway. So one of the things we, I said, which didn't explain, is that how at the beginning I'm listening to Yuri for the pitch. And that's an important thing to learn for all of us, is that as much as possible you want to tune down, you want to listen to what's coming from the bass, and that's why it's so important that intonation is very carefully worked out from the lower end, and then you work up from that, so you always listen down.
It also means that that's a huge responsibility for the cellists and bass players out there. Yeah, we have to be incredibly stable in our intonation and careful, and yeah. So sadly, it doesn't mean we're always right, but it does mean that we have to be.
Although it
a
sure
greater
means that you try
responsibility.
to prove that you are always right. Okay,
Can we do the same thing going on?
yes,
Yeah,
please.
and we're going to go into one of our breaks.
Yeah, and then what are you gonna do going into 112?
Oh,
Or are you just gonna make it, you can make it up.
I think I'm gonna go into it. Can we?
Sure, let's try it.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, let's just do it again.
Sorry, where the.
Oh, whatever. 3.
point out one thing which I think is really cool, especially for those of you who are composition majors, or what Mozart does with the material at 112. Let's just play, can we just play right at 112? And listen to, actually, let's just play Carl and me right there. Carl is low in his register. I'm higher in my register.
You're
so we're
stuck in the middle.
Yeah, so it's really close harmony. But then but Gwen is actually playing below us.
Yes.
Which is really interesting to me. Everything is very much in the middle register, but with Gwen on the lower end of things. And then listen to what happens in bar 116 when I get that material. So I start really, really low, even lower than Gwen, and they're still kind of in that middle register. And then Gwen and I then take over that middle register, and Carl soars above. It's a pretty amazing thing, I think, just what Mozart does with very simple materials of register, but basically the same musical material, but just playing around with register.
Did we like 111?
I did.
Yeah.
Fine.
Good.
You know, and if at the moment you change your mind,
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
we'll go with.
I just I like hanging on the suspension in the second beat of 111, and then after that, I feel like I can't actually slow up anymore, so then
Right.
you just kind of tumble.
I liked it, and it certainly makes it easier for me to come in, right?
Perfect.
Yeah.
To start that. The one time I have that theme.
And our intonation, I thought, was better in 112. One of the weird things about having the register getting changed around is that intonation sounds different.
It's very hard, actually.
Yes.
It's very hard when you're in a different register from.
Yeah.
And
When you're not the
instruments-
bass.
Yeah. When
It's,
instruments are flipped around, yeah.
yeah, intonation sounds a lot different. It's hard to navigate it. Okay, we going on?
Sure. So this is the first of two minuets in this piece.
This is the simple, more traditional one.
Yeah. But it starts with the hemiola, which is kind of also
Yeah. Fair enough.
not, it doesn't feel like it's in 3 right at the beginning.
4, 5.
8765, yes.
Are you going to do the last 2 notes separate?
That's what I have, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
I have this.
Yeah, interesting.
Ooh, let's take another A.
Good plan. Because I have it slurred. And I'm with you.
Are you looking at Henley too?
I am. Let's just double check what I'm looking at. Henley. Yeah, so I have slurs.
Yeah.
Slurs right there.
And I get them also too. But I'm looking at Henley.
But in the Barn Writer, it's actually slurred too.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Actually, because yours is thematic.
I can't imagine not slurring it.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
question
I agree,
is,
but I
question is
just
whether or
wondered
not
if
you
I
should.
should.
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
You think it's okay?
I think it's
Yeah.
okay to be different.
All right, would you like to retune us?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
I'm just gonna double check it because it's very warm in here and
It is very
and
warm.
the instruments are probably not loving it.
It's better than being very cold though.
Yeah, for sure. It's close enough.
If you have any questions about anything we've done so far, just write in the chat and we'll answer.
There we go.
You can probably hear that I'm tuning my fists nice and narrow. That's like what I was talking about before. It's a good idea in any kind of string chamber music, or really any chamber music, for cellists to do that at least. So their C strings aren't flat. Want to check the...
I'll take it from you.
Yeah.
Just to reiterate, to confirm, we had brief conversations about this movement the other day. The forte in bar 34, subito, right?
We
Correct.
That's what we
on
decided we
subito.
were going to do because I couldn't remember
Yeah.
if we were going to go into it or. But
No?
subito, okay.
And for those of you who are looking at the score, you'll see that there's a subito forte, or what looks like a subito forte in 34. In Beethoven, we would absolutely take that as for sure a subito forte. In Mozart, however, there are times when it's pretty clear that Mozart wants there to be a smooth transition from one dynamic to the other, and he just rarely writes hairpins, crescendos, and that kind of thing. It just wasn't part of the tradition yet, because Beethoven wrote such unusual things, he had to be very specific about his dynamics. Mozart generally conformed to the common practice of his period.
Which is why you see so few mezzo fortes and mezzo pianos in Mozart. He didn't use that very often.
You don't see mezzo fortes in Beethoven either, but
Yeah, that's true. It's a later innovation.
Yeah.
I have 49. 49 is where we have that high. It actually happens a couple of times in different contexts. Like, for example, 14. I think Gwen and I were kind of looking at it differently. I feel like you want to go ta da da dee da da dum, and I had thought ta
I
da
wanna be
da
heard.
dee da da dee da dee da dee da dum.
We can do that. I just want to be heard.
Fair enough.
I don't think I'm being heard.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm playing too loud. I'm sorry.
I didn't say that. I just said I don't think I'm being heard. Okay, so you want to release after the,
I don't
after
know.
the high note.
Or-
Is that the same in 14?
Yes.
Okay.
But we don't have to. I just want us to do it the same.
Yeah, I did imagine it more over the bar than you did. Da da dee dum dee da 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 da. I do hear it.
I mean, that makes sense considering we have piano right afterwards. I mean, a bar and a half later.
I think both are
Okay.
possible.
So,
Do you want to just try that one, and then
sure.
we'll go into the trio?
which one? Sure, that's a good idea.
Should we start, you want to start the pickups
The
to
forte before that?
36, where you go bump up where it comes back?
Oh, sure, fine, let's do that.
You can do that with
So,
that one.
what are we doing at 49? We're gonna sort of,
We're
drop it a
going
little
to do what you suggested.
okay, good. It's 36, right?
Yep.
2, 3, 4, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
1, 2.
Yeah, let's do that again.
Let's do that again.
I
Because
didn't
I guess
catch
I
you
got
guys
to watch
very
you
well.
well, and didn't catch him very well either.
Let's just do the forte from
44 pickup?
1, 2, 3, yeah, 44 pickup.
1, 2.
Can we try it the other way? Maybe this is not a good idea. Maybe it's too fussy.
So
Well,
just a
though-
little more bloom through the whole bar?
Yeah, we'll
let's-
just kind of go through the bar and sustain it.
Okay, but we still haven't done this way very well, because we are late on the third beat.
On the third beat.
Because Yuri's got
I know.
eights down there.
And that's sort of why I think maybe this is a bad idea.
Okay, let's try it the other way.
Same place?
Yep.
1, 2. Less fussy for sure.
Certainly less fussy.
Yeah, let's do that. Simplicity is never a bad choice.
Especially not in Mozart.
Yeah. Are we good otherwise? Are there any bowings that we need to work out? I thought we were
Oh, I
okay.
think we had that, this one we worked out.
Okay.
So shall we do the trio?
Yeah.
Do we want to go back and play the minuet, or shall we go on after this?
Let's go, well, let's do the, like,
You want to do the recap,
just,
basically?
yeah, well, just hit it.
The
yeah,
A section
at the
again?
beginning, yeah.
Fine.
We don't have to play through the whole thing, but.
Okay.
A little musical competition. Whoever can write in the chat what Mozart's favorite instrument to play chamber music on will get a lollipop.
A lollipop.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, fine.
Halloween candy, woohoo!
Yuri has extra Halloween candy. Nobody came to his house. Especially if they're getting lollipops, I know why.
Yeah, no kidding. Only full-size Snickers at Carl's house.
That's right, full-size Snickers.
Oh yeah,
Get rid
I
of any
don't think
nuts in
so.
my house, that's for sure.
Okay.
Where are we gonna start?
Same place and go on?
Sure.
Sure. 1, 2.
I think I just made Carl throw up a little bit. In his
No, no. You made me smile, though, that's for sure.
That's okay. The second last bum bum bum, you was gonna do that strong?
At the end?
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
The first one you did forte, and this one you did sort of piano.
I don't know.
You did it both times.
I was probably just thinking about how much I enjoyed making Carl puke a little bit. Yeah, sure, let's do that. Let's
You
do
know,
that.
I'm only jealous that I did the first 2 times, and you know, you can't really take the time the first 2 times.
That's true.
It's afterwards.
It's the cellist's prerogative.
Violas is last in this.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and we have a couple of contestants who have submitted answers to my question. Josiah says viola, and Ryan Baxter says bagpipes, naturally. That's I think, we should get points for...
That's worthy of a lollipop all
It's
on.
really, so we'll give both of you lollipops. But Josiah is in fact correct. It is the viola. Let me see if I can find something here.
I see. Well, for those of you who thought you were getting a real lollipop,
Okay.
You know better.
Yeah. Okay, we'll give you an ice cream cone instead.
ice cream cone. That's
One for ice cream cones for everybody.
Virtual.
Oh, it's a Sunday. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Anything? I was thinking that I would go into the after 104 or 39. Oh yeah, this was funny actually. We discovered the other day that Barenreiter and Henley actually bar number their parts differently.
Yeah, that was very useful, wasn't it?
Yeah. But anyway, the last 2. I'll go to the 4th last bar of the trio.
Yeah.
Rather than away
I had
from
that
that.
in my part.
Okay. Good.
Yep,
Okay. Yeah.
I had that.
Okay. Anything we need to talk about here, or cover, or play again?
No, the only thing that was that thing I asked you about in the first part where you're gonna do the 2, separate eighth notes at the end of the bar.
Oh yeah, right.
Because I'm with you in the lead up
Yeah.
to that,
Yeah.
so it's fine, it's just, I just wanna make sure that we play those two at the same time.
Should we cover it? Let's do
I
it.
wonder if we should.
Okay, let's go from the
Double
second
bar?
half there. Yeah, double
Yeah.
bar.
You know where we are?
Second half of the bar.
Of the minuet?
Of the minuet.
Yeah, so we're looking at bar 33, 4, 5,
Okay.
okay? That's fine. Carl, you're taking a little bit of time before the piano in 28?
Did I? Probably. It
Yes,
makes
you
sense. Is it too much?
No, just Gary and I were not
Let's do it again.
with you, which is, I mean,
I think there is a little bit there.
that's
so,
fine.
Yeah.
It's just we have
That was
to.
28?
It's 25, 6, yes, 28 before the 30.
I have to admit that we haven't rehearsed this one as much, so my fingerings are getting a little adventurous sometimes. And probably.
Don't do
Surprises.
that.
Go ahead.
I still didn't catch you. Let's do it.
Okay,
I like
you know
it.
what?
I like
I
it.
think I just have
Mark
to do
it.
a big decrescendo in the beginning, first 2 beats of that bar.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then that will alert me to the fact that,
We're not.
Cool. And again, for composition majors, looking down in measure 56, this kind of hemiola theme that or hemiola kind of idea, look at the cello part. Right, he kind of like has that little thing very subtly hidden in the cello part too, even though it's a different notes.
it's very early jazz.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Right.
Who's writing a comment? Did we get a comment?
Just a meh face, I think.
Well, I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Are we going on?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the variation movement, and this is the one that we figured we would probably need to work out today.
Yeah, this is a hard movement.
This is a very difficult movement for all of us. And the variations are very, very long, which allows for lots of different ideas.
Yep.
Let's put it that way.
So, we'll start on an up bow, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I refuse.
All right, you don't.
You don't.
You're a cellist.
Okay.
We should maybe fix a few things
Yes,
here.
yes. That's the theme, by the way.
That is the thing. There was a couple of times you and I went astray, bowing-wise.
Yeah, 22? Do you want to?
Oh, yeah, you wanted to do,
I don't necessarily.
da-da-dum-dee-da. Yes, which is correct. This is what you should do.
Okay.
I just have to mark it.
The second time I do that, like in
You did it the other way
30,
around.
no, 38.
Yeah.
Can we just spread that bar a little bit? Ta-da-dim, ti-da-da-dee-da-dum. That's bar 38. So there would be just a little hesitation in the last two eighth notes. Does that make sense to
I have a
others?
quarter note holding through that. What do you have here, Abe?
You have eights in there,
I
right?
think you have eights.
Yeah, I do. I have, in 38, you said?
Yeah.
Last two.
Yeah, I have 2 8s in the last two.
Yeah, I thought you
Wait,
did.
is that gonna?
Yeah. I'm sort of imagining this. We don't have to, I'm just,
Oh, I got the wrong bar.
I thought it was 37, that
That-
where he took time.
No.
so,
Oh, I see. Oh, there, yes, right.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know if it's gonna work or not. I just kind of, when I
Let's
did
try
it,
it.
I
Are you
just
changing
felt it.
color as well?
I think so.
Sort of?
Yeah.
Let's try it.
So then I need to maybe do something there.
Maybe we could go from 33
Yep.
to cover that. Yeah.
So obvious.
Can we do less, basically, is what you're asking?
I think the idea is lovely. I think it's too demonstrative. It's too,
Fair enough.
I mean, I think you're trying to tell us what you want first, but I think it just needs to flow.
Sure, let's try again.
So that will be really soft after?
Basically, we're less in the pickup to 39.
I think we were,
Yeah. I mean, unless people have a problem with
No,
this.
no.
So 6, 7, 8, 9, but then 40, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 41?
then we should maybe do this very song.
Yeah.
Yep, I think that's good.
I actually was also thinking that bar 33 would be less than bar 17.
Bar 33 would be less, oh, I see. So it would be, yeah, that makes sense too.
I don't know, I guess
Yeah.
I'll just write a
So
piano
let's-
there,
so-
and in 17
Yeah.
I'll put a mezzo
The only,
something.
I might say we need to try that.
Oh,
For
fair
the
enough.
simple reason that there are 2 voices in 17 and there are 3
Yeah.
voices in 33.
Yeah, that's right,
It's the same music,
yeah.
so I'm wondering if maybe that's,
I think then we kind of need to run this variation again.
It's a theme.
Yeah.
The theme, sorry,
Yeah.
the theme.
yeah, and also Carl, if you're coming away in 41, why would you want to be lighter in 33?
Yeah, I get the,
Well, I mean, we can build in between
Yeah, I-
no,
33 and 41.
I kind of, like, basically, I think when we played it the first time, I just kind of felt that as being softer, and then 37 would be stronger.
Mhm.
As sort of, basically, so the second time through, you've got a bigger dynamic
Yeah,
contrast than the first time.
The other issue with that is that Yuri and I in 36 are really coming away. As we go through that
We
bar,
did, yeah.
we have come away.
Yeah, we
Let's-
don't have to.
No.
You know what, let's play it again and see kind of
Sure.
what comes of the whole, how we feel when
Okay.
we do it.
But as you guys can see, especially if you're looking at a score, we have a piano marked right at the beginning, but that's the only indicated dynamic through the whole theme. And that's pretty typical for Mozart, and really composers of Mozart or before Mozart. They didn't tend to indicate all of the things that you might do dynamically in the music. That didn't mean that they intended for you to play it flat, like dynamically flat all the way through. So it's up to
Pitch-wise.
it's up to the performers to decide how they want to phrase things, which means at times getting bigger and smaller.
And actually, I have to say, in the
Indication.
variations, I find Mozart actually writes a lot of dynamic. And
That's
I mean,
true, for him,
Yes.
yeah.
For him, like, so bar
Yes.
57 is forte, and then halfway through 59 is piano.
Yeah.
And then 60 is forte, and then halfway through 63 is a piano, 62. Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's actually quite a lot.
And you can tell in that also the influence of just, I mean, he's older and more mature composers, of course, but also just that one of the things that was happening at the end of the 18th century, beginning of the 19th century, of course, Mozart was dead by then, but instruments were being built to be able to have greater dynamic contrast. So composers started to exploit that. And Beethoven, of course, was the supreme example
Yeah, for sure.
of that.
Yeah.
Where? Top?
Do we need any other bowing things to work out, or we,
I think we're
I
fine.
think we're fine?
I think we're fine. So we're going to do the theme again?
Yeah, let's do that again.
Points also for people who can tell us a little bit about the structure of the theme and where is what is this in, what kind of a form is the theme in? If somebody can tell us, that would be really interesting. I'd like to hear if anybody can tell what the form of the theme
What it
is.
is we just did.
Yeah.
And for that matter, points to anybody who can name the opera that this music
This is from.
this is from, although actually is the opera written before or later? Anyway, can't remember the crucial number on it.
It's probably before.
It's probably before, so anyway, there you go.
Should we go on? This variation one?
First of all,
Okay, so what are we doing here?
Oh, right.
What decisions are we coming up with here?
I tried to really build through 34, 35, 36, 37, and then come away.
I mean, I thought we made a good arch through those 8 bars. And if that's what you want to do, let's do it.
yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
I sort of liked how it worked out. It just, because I think the harmony too just gets so much
Yeah,
more.
more impassioned and.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
like that. And it's also, it's less simple than the first time of this part of the theme,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I think that makes sense.
All right,
Okay, going on.
sure. Wait,
Sorry.
How rude. So that was variation one.
Busy.
Yeah.
well, it is.
I wondered,
I think this might be more of a balanced variation.
yeah.
Am I too strong?
I'm not saying that,
No, I
I'm
mean,
not
but
sure, I think we just have to make some decisions, right?
Right.
Like, how important is the reiteration of the theme?
Yes, exactly.
As opposed to how
The
important is
noodling.
it to all the stuff that you're doing in and
Yep.
around it, like, there are different ways of doing it,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
That's definitely more lyrical, more operatic in this, right? You have the which is kind of like the accompaniment in an orchestral opera, and I think we can really bring out the lyricism in those when we have it. So then I think it's less, if there's quite a contrast between the lyrical and the more nervous
Dramatic.
energy of that, of the triplets. I think we don't have to worry too much about who's higher or lower. We'll hear both of them. Can we just try it from 49?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I got completely confused. I was in variation 2 in my mind with a yup, up, up,
We're
up,
getting
up,
there,
up, up, up,
we're
up.
getting there.
Yeah, but still, it's true. This is more lyrical. This one, 49. This variation 1 is more lyrical.
What's the dynamic we're going to start at in 49?
That's a good question. I don't think it should be nearly as loud as the second part of that. first.
Right.
The second part being bar 57? Or,
Yes.
okay,
Yes. Should it just be piano?
let's just write piano.
Let's just, yeah.
And maybe Gwen, you should be a little more than me, I'm sorry. I
For the
think-
first part of
I
this,
think
and
for
then
the
the
first
second,
part,
and then the
yeah.
second part not.
Then, yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
so I'll write mezzo piano,
Yeah,
and then, I mean, I think the way you're playing the second part of this is gorgeous.
oh, thank you.
So that's fine, and Yuri and I are, I think, fitting in as well as can be done. Which would be perfectly. So there you go.
Yeah, still waiting to hear who,
Who's figured out the-
who's figured out what the form of the theme
Oh
is.
my goodness, guys. Don't your theory teachers teach you anything?
Oh, let's not.
I know maybe this is the wrong time to say that.
Let's not.
Let's let that lie, but, but I want, take a look at what's happening in measure 1 through 8, and then measures 9 through 12. And then, sorry, 9 through 16, I should say. And then 17 through,
24.
well, actually 17 through 33.
That's
Oh,
right.
right.
17 through 33, and then
34
30, no, yeah, 30.
Yeah, 34.
to 40.
Actually, it's 17 to 32, and then 33 is where it starts again.
Yeah.
So 33 to 48.
Yeah.
So 1 to 8, 9 to
Someone
16,
didn't write it in.
17 to 32, 33 to 48. Yep, very good, exactly. It's rounded binary form. So normally what we have in a theme and variations is a binary form or a rounded binary form. It's usually written where we have a repeat sign on both halves of the theme. In this case, what Mozart has done, because he wants to already start embellishing, or already start doing a variation on the repetition, he's actually written out the whole thing. So you get bars 1 to 8 is the theme unadorned. Then you have 9 to 16. We already have a little bit of variation happening. 17, the second part of the theme, unadorned, and then 33 to 48, the second part of the theme, with a similar kind of variation to what we had in the repetition of the first part of the theme.
And for those of you not looking at the score, there is no variation actually. It's not marked variations,
Right.
it's just written out music.
Right, which
Right.
is unusual also
Yeah,
for
right,
music
that's
of this
also
period.
so-
Yeah,
That is also.
He's
very-
not being explicit about it being a theme and variations. other
That's
than the
right.
fact that the music clearly is.
it is.
but-
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Very good.
Okay.
Should we-
Did we get an answer on the opera? Anyway,
No answer to the opera yet, but that's okay.
quickly go and listen to them all and figure it out. Bar 49?
Again?
Were we going to do the piano? Or we just
Yeah.
agreed to, that
Let's-
we're
Just
let's
agree.
do
Let's not-
pi-
we don't need to
let's
go
do
back.
piano.
Yeah.
Let's maybe do the second half of that.
Okay.
So that's 65.
Sure.
Okay, so this is the second half.
Second half of the first variation.
60.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm
Do you need a new shoulder rest again?
falling apart. There we go. No, I don't.
I'll give you my viola one.
Go ahead.
Can you do more with that? That Carl, the ya da dee dee
Yeah,
dee
yeah.
dee dee dee.
Yeah.
So this is now the
That way
repetition, or the repetition of the
the,
second half.
Well, the focus will go back to you, which is good.
Yeah, and I'm just going to also call your attention to the end of bar 82, which will probably get stretched out for that piano I have
Okay.
in the last.
Okay, because we have upbeat to downbeat slurred.
Okay. And it's not really, I'm not really trying to stretch time as much as I just want to place it. Just
Okay.
trying to change the color, enough to
Yeah.
change the color, that's it.
Yeah, good.
Can I ask, are we going into bar 79? So, or is the top of it bar 78?
I think somebody else can make that decision. because I changed registers for 79, so 74 is, then,
I think it's going actually into, about 77.
6, 7.
we can certainly do it that way.
So, yeah. This is 77 for me. So I just kind of want to know how I'm going to shape that.
Can you go, where's your high G?
That's 78.
4,
Maybe,
5,
yeah.
6, 7. Do you want to go all the way to there? You want to try it?
You certainly, sure, why
Can
don't
we
I
do
try that?
73?
78, you say?
Yeah, let's try going to 78 then.
Okay.
And we're starting from 73? 3?
Okay. I like that.
That was,
I like that.
but I thought you were talking about the corner between 76 and 7.
I had said that I thought that was the big, the goal, but I actually liked it better the
No,
way
I
they
thought it
called
was, so I can actually round off my phrase at the end of 76.
Yeah, I think that's good.
But we'll go to that definitely, that's good. Okay.
And he does something different in the next, in the repetition, because there he goes to that, the corresponding bar, or to the bar of where that I said 77. He actually marks the printed forte there, where I have a low C. So he
yeah,
does
we
it
want that
different.
low
He
C.
does it differently, which is I think cool.
Yeah.
So
All right, let's do 73 one more time.
Sure. We're going to be just, I've written in my part 65 to be piano, but I think mostly that's for me, so I get out of the way of the theme a little bit.
I had from a mezzo forte from before, so and I don't have the theme, so maybe I should.
You don't have a piano in 60?
I printed. I penciled in last time we played it at mezzo forte.
Oh, okay.
I'll take that.
I just wanted not to be the dominant voice there, sort of to
Yeah.
correspond to what we did
Yeah.
the first
Good.
half of it. Anyways, did we decide 73? Is that where we're going from?
That was the last
Sure.
mentioned number.
Dear Lord, that is busy.
Pickups to 89. Do you have forte starting on pam?
I do.
I think that's good. I think you could do more. Like
Okay.
right from the beginning of
That was-
just really take.
That whole corner, I don't think I took over the beginning of 89 well enough from you. Or 87,
Yeah,
88 from you.
we definitely have to do it again, because I was completely confused there as
Yeah,
to
let's do it one more time.
how we were doing it.
I need to take, because I have to take over the first beat of 88 from you
Yes.
and finish it off.
Can we just,
It's really bad.
I thought the thing at the end of 82 worked quite well.
Yep,
Can we just go from 81 one more time?
yep.
Yeah.
Carl, can you and I just do that?
Sure, do you want me to give you 2 bars, or?
Can you just do 87? Or somewhere in there?
87, 86.
Okay. I think you need to just go straight through so I can
Really?
finish off.
Oh,
You don't?
I like it how he's taking. I like the taking of time.
So
Well,
then what am I supposed to do?
What do you have?
Oh, you mean, I need to, in 87, I need to go straight through.
Because I have that to finish off before he does the forte.
Yeah, dee, ta, 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 ta.
But
I
I
can't leave you two naked there for sure.
But I mean, really where I think the time is after beat 2 anyways.
Yes,
So if
I
you want
agree.
to-
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm doing too much before,
Okay,
is what
I
you're
didn't
saying.
realize that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And we need to match our eights, the
Yes.
lengths of our eights a little bit. Can we play them a little shorter?
Are you talking in 83?
All 83 I have, well, yeah, that's one place, but we have them like in 88, second half of 88.
Yeah.
All of those, especially in the
yep,
ends
yep.
of phrases.
Do you have, just to double check, 81, 2, 3, downbeat of 84, are you an eighth note or a quarter note?
There I have a quarter note.
Okay, good.
Is that what you have too? Good.
Okay, so eighth notes will be shorter.
Yeah.
Can we start 81 one more
Yeah,
time?
sure we do.
Sorry, I was a little too long now.
I'm sorry, you guys. I don't mean to make this too. Sorry, I just want to mark something and then.
Is that
Yeah,
close?
that was great. I
Yeah.
like that a lot.
The one thing is, I am going to split 81 and 82, just because I've got double stops, and they're low.
Okay. Oh, I see. Sure.
So
That's
that,
fine.
the upbeat to 83
3
will be a down bow.
down. Okay.
I'd like to make that
Great.
official, so
Yeah.
that.
I probably will keep my slur.
Yeah,
but
that's
in-
fine.
Yeah.
It's just, I got too many notes
Yeah.
on the
good.
low end of the instrument. Just a second. Okay. Do we want to do that one more time?
Up to you.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt.
Are we 81? Is that what you want to do?
Yep.
Yeah, just a sec, sorry.
Speaking of shoulder rests.
Speaking of shoulder rest, this thing, I've been fussing with it at home with the screwdriver to try and tighten it.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Still not quite, because this instrument is small by piano standards.
I think you could be more playful with some of those. Make me throw up a little in my mouth, Carl.
Okay, for the sake of getting through this rehearsal in one piece, I won't go over the top just because I was told to.
Oh, that
Okay,
just
let's
is
try.
Yeah.
So, Carl.
You can really see, like, each variation is actually two variations.
Yeah, it's really two and one, and especially this one you can hear it.
Yeah, you really hear it. It's really...
So you've got the variation
Clever.
that goes da dee da dee and ya pa 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 pa
Yeah.
pa pa. That's kind of one variation. This first half of each side, or the first time of each half, and then you have yum bum bum beam da 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 dee, which is the other variation.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I don't know of any other piece that's like that, actually, theme and variation piece that plays with form like that.
I don't know, like maybe some of the piano ones, Die Belly, or
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not sure, but
Pretty cool.
yeah, it is pretty cool. I can't think of a quartet that does it for sure.
No. How do we decide, how do we know whether to start a trill from the upper note or from the note? Because that's something we have to decide in this piece.
I mean, I was blanket doing them all from above,
Yeah,
as you know.
yeah, I'm actually.
I don't get that, so I don't have to make that decision.
Well, we were both doing that,
Yeah.
but I think that's because we have similar influences.
I think
But I
that's a
wonder
great
for
one.
this one, because of it, if actually the A is better. I mean, I'm used to doing them from the top too.
Right. I like them from the upper note, personally, in music of this period. And I know,
Yeah.
so when Carl and I worked with Roy Goodman a number of years ago, he basically said everything from Baroque period, Mozart, and Haydn.
Unless the appoggiatura was written in as a preceding note.
Unless the composer dictated
Yeah,
it otherwise.
dictate, yeah, unless, like, sometimes the appoggiatura would be like a quarter note and then trill
Sure.
would be afterwards. And then, in
Yeah,
which case,
right.
the trill is not a repeat of
Of
the
course,
appoggiatura.
Right.
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, but typically what we hear, like, for instance, if you study piano through RCM or something like that, is that you play the upper note trill unless the note is preceded by the same note, right?
Yeah.
So,
By the upper note.
yeah, or preceded by the upper note, but Roy Goodman would have said, no, that doesn't matter, really, basically. He would say, it doesn't matter what note precedes it, you always start on the upper note in music
Which is
from
basically
Haydn or
what
earlier,
I do.
or Mozart and earlier. Yeah, that's basically what we do now.
we do.
But it's different from what most
Yeah.
people are taught, I think.
I think that's what we do. I think that the difference in this one is, and in this, what the decision we have to make is how long are we spending on that?
Well, there's that too, yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
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 And maybe we don't have to play them all the same. In fact, I would suggest we can
Yeah.
make a little bit of variation in it. And I don't think we have to copy each other necessarily
No.
either, so. I guess it's kind of, we can just figure that out as we play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my trill is obviously from the upper note because I do. Like he wouldn't do that.
Right, because it's preceded by the same note, yeah.
So like,
Yeah, for sure.
there's no discussion there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that's or interesting thing to talk about, because it's something you have to decide on when you're playing music,
Sometimes there's a lot
especially,
of debate about it.
yeah,
sure.
especially in music of Mozart, because it's kind of like right in between Baroque music and Romantic music, and
And actually, if I'm looking ahead in bar 147, we have exactly something that would be more talked about. Where it's
Right.
basically it's preceded by the note above,
yeah,
but the question is that the note above isn't an appoggiatura, so then you
Right.
still,
right. I think if you were following RCM rules, it would be
which I think is actually not right.
Right.
In this case, I would.
It's like
I
a
would-
suspension.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, but by the same token, again, we've talked about Beethoven and how there's a real shift between Beethoven, from Mozart to Beethoven.
Yes.
Beethoven, you would always do it exactly how he wrote it, right? So if he doesn't give you an appoggiatura with the upper note, you're going to start the trill from the note.
Except when he's inconsistent. Then you
Well,
have to make a decision. And that
Yeah,
does occur.
and actually, and that's actually like a period of life thing too. Like by the time he's halfway through his
That's
life,
true.
he's consistent.
That's true. When he's 20, 25 years old, he's
Yeah,
still
then it's-
writing in this
it's
kind of style.
still- it's-
Yeah.
it's- But by the late Beethoven quartets, I mean, there's not a
He
whole.
writes exactly what he wants, yeah, which is weird a lot of the time.
Yeah,
What he wants is
What
weird.
he wants is weird. Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
So do you want to do this variation again? Or do you wanna move
Do
on?
we need to, actually, do we need to?
No.
We can move on.
I think
It's
we
fine
should
with
move
me.
on.
Sure.
Okay, guess what I'm going to bring up for the next one?
Hmm.
Do we use vibrato?
Ah,
Ha, ha, ha. This is
Well,
always a bone of contention.
I'm going to.
Well, I would like to hear without.
Sure.
let's do it. So no vibrato, we'll try without
For the
vibrato.
minor, because we
For the
have a
minore
minore
section, yeah.
variation, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really see that us doing the entire variation without, but let's start it for sure and see what it leads to. Maybe we could do the last 4 bars, just so we get the contrast?
Sure.
Or,
Is that, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, yep. So 141?
890, yep.
Except I added an extra special C flat, which does not exist. So it actually worked, but it was wrong. No. I actually don't like that.
Really?
Not completely.
As soon as this happens, Yuri likes it and the rest of us don't. It's just,
Now, I do think we need to use a minimum amount of vibrato occasionally.
okay. I will use my minimum.
What I like about it is that for both the minore and then for the next maggiore section, he's very clearly in a frame of mind that's like looking like an antique style or an old style from his perspective. He's looking backwards, right? Definitely.
Oh, it's pretty chromatic.
Well, Bach is super
Fair
chromatic.
enough,
I mean,
yeah.
I think it's very influenced by Bach, and
Yeah.
and the Maggiore, as you'll hear, you even have like it sounds like
I have a chorale.
It sounds like a
I get
chorale
a
tune.
chorale.
Yeah.
It could be like something out of Bach et Auf or something like that, out of a Bach cantata.
Yeah, and certainly by this point in Mozart's life, he was a huge Bach fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
And studied his works.
But that said, also, that doesn't necessarily mean anything for vibrato, because neither in Bach's time nor in Mozart's time did they use vibrato. So to our ears, it sounds kind of old-fashioned or kind of ancient.
weird.
Yeah, or weird.
Or weird.
to not use vibrato. But for Mozart, they wouldn't have been using much vibrato anyways. But
No, they wouldn't.
anyway, so it's always something that have big discussions about, not only in our group, but in the orchestra as well. Thankfully, in an orchestra, or thankfully or unthankfully, I don't know, blessing or curse, you have somebody who's just going to tell you, do it this way. And so the discussion is over.
Yeah.
But it's hard to make that question, or to decide on that question.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there are some real crunches in here that we really need to bring out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whether or not we like those crunches, you know, with a white sound or with a thicker sound, that's,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Well, and also we have to maybe figure out how we're gonna use our bow to make
Right.
the expression, which is what they did.
If I really want to make Carl cringe, I'll ask for non-vibrato and ponticello.
Yeah, because that's what they would have done.
Halloween, woo!
Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. Oh, yeah.
It's like
That is definitely-
winter.
Yeah, it is. Okay, what are we doing?
Why don't we try just so people can hear with vibrato now, and we can vary if we want to.
Should we do the last four, or can we start right on?
Let's just start right on.
Yeah.
You have an upbeat, right?
I do. Intonation is so hard.
It's really,
Yeah.
really hard.
So do you guys have a vote? I'd like to hear votes. So do you like vibrato or non-vibrato?
And Carl's vote doesn't count.
Well, I mean, I like this. I definitely would personally go with this.
Yeah. Well, it has a sweetness to it.
It does,
Yeah.
and actually a darkness to it. Like,
Well, we're more comfortable finding
That's
that
right.
style, right?
that's right.
Finding that color through the way we just played it than we are,
Yeah.
because we don't do non-vibrato in this
As often,
situation
yeah.
normally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree, I much prefer what we just did. But
But a lot of it is just what we're used to.
a lot of it is what we're used to.
A little off the topic, we have these staccato eighth notes. Sometimes I notice for myself, at least, I'm getting sort of stuck in the upper half, and so I'm doing several ups or something in a row to make up for it.
That's fine, I would do
Is
that.
there,
I was doing 3 ups quite often.
Yeah, me too. I don't think it's really off the string. Like, I think it's fine
Yeah.
to do on the string,
Yeah.
lots of vocal. Yeah, lots of air in the sound.
Yeah.
we're good with
I like
that kind of stroke?
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually quite, it's such texture in this, otherwise this piece that's really very kind of placid, hey, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden you get these little pointy things.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay,
I mean, even when they're separate, I think they should sound like that.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would think
I
they'd
agree.
sound the same regardless of bowing, so.
Mhm.
Right.
I didn't know if we wanted to try to make it the same bowing all the time, but I think that would be
No,
very
I
unlike,
think
very,
we need to make it sound like that.
Yep,
yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Um,
I'll have to write this in the book. We all agree.
We all agree, that's right.
do we need to do any of this again? Do we need to cover any of it for pitch?
Probably.
We want to try it?
Um,
You want to play it one more time and listen for that?
Let's
before?
play it one more time. I was like for sure concerned about 149, 50, 51, actually 50 and 51.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it again and stop as we
Need to.
as we need to.
Okay. I think yours should be the main voice here.
I have the theme for sure.
Yes, you do. And I think we need to keep our sound more veiled. Want to just start your epic there?
Yep. Can we just match colors there?
I'd like to do this one more time. I definitely want to play under Yuri, but a couple of times you have these suspensions, you know, like to just have
Should I
to
lean
have
into it a
little-
little more?
Well, if I was thinking myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
let's go
those-
for it. Go for it.
Okay.
Where do you want to go from?
From your
Same
epic?
thing.
Same?
Especially that 155?
55.
Yeah, that's the one that's got the most activity harmonically
Oh, I
as
see.
well as rhythmically.
Yeah.
So maybe we can go into that bar a little bit just so that we don't, yeah, because you've got the trill in there.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Can we just try it one more time?
Yeah.
So we're kind of gonna, basically we decided we're gonna go into 155.
That's the plan for right now.
Right.
That works better.
Forgive me, I just want to write a couple of things in here.
I thought that allowed us to get our notes all in better in 155.
Sounded good to me, I liked it.
I liked it too.
Carl, can you lean into the beginning of 165? Because you're on an F and I go into a G flat.
2, 3, 4. I will, yeah.
I go into a G flat and I just.
Oh,
think-
that was one of the bowings I was gonna change. Yeah. Right. So that's what we're happy with how this is ending, right? Like I'm just kind of
Yes,
placing that as
Simple
thought it was
and,
beautiful.
yeah.
good.
and then I will
Yeah,
play my baccarat.
good. And
we go
let's do that.
Let's do it. Yeah.
stops and they're low, so I can't really play up there.
I don't think it matters. I think we'd actually will match that way better than if I went down
Fair
here, I
enough.
think it'd be crunchy.
I'm just asking.
Yeah. I wonder if we should really try to, at the end of all of the 30 seconds, if we should really try to end that into the tag, if we're gonna call it that.
Yeah,
So basically what
that's
I'm-
probably the hardest corner, how to get into music.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
almost wonder if you wanna like make him, I'd like to try it once, make sort of a big
Dim?
a dim at least. I don't know if it's time, but. Digga, 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 dum, tee. Yeah,
I think.
it's nasty, hey?
If you're gonna make it dim, you probably wanna take a hair of time over it, just
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that the instrument speaks.
Maybe we just try
Let's
it.
try
Maybe it's a
that.
terrible idea.
It
but-
might not work, but yeah, let's do it.
I know I have I have 16th notes starting right on the downbeat of 208, and it's just like, where do I put those notes?
Yeah, it's so hard.
Do we want to do
Do you wanna start from where you started?
204?
Yep.
Go
I'll
ahead.
try to actually play the notes this time. A little too weird, imposed.
It's a little too artificial.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just it's abrupt. It's just an abrupt corner. Like all of a sudden we find ourselves, oh, we're on this street.
Yeah, I mean, we are. Okay, in that case, maybe should we, I mean, he's got a piano mark there, but should we think of those last 5 or 6 bars, that
Maybe
tag,
it's a diminuendo.
as a dim?
Oh, let's try that.
Let's try that.
Same spot?
Yep.
Yeah. I totally can see that. Like, so we would almost mark it like a mezzo piano at least, and then definitely the set, at the 4 last bars, when it repeats itself, we can really kind of do something else and make the big color change there.
Yeah.
The only thing is, Yuri, I do think, even if we don't take a lot of dynamic change, I do think that maybe rhythmically, if you just stretch very slightly the last 30 seconds.
You just
Yeah,
set it up a bit.
just to give it a
Place
little,
it.
otherwise it just sort of sounds like you hit a brick wall.
Yeah, yeah,
We also have to be careful not to rush this variation. I think we're a little bit faster than we started at.
maybe.
That probably doesn't help us.
I thought it's been pretty good getting into 208,
Good.
because that's about exactly where we started the movement.
I mean, the Minori we played slower for sure,
Yeah,
which I think is good.
yeah.
I kind of thought that some of these, I felt them just
Just
Oh, it's
move in a
possible,
little too
yeah.
much.
on the front a little more than maybe it should have been.
Do you want to do the Majore one more time?
We have like
4
4
minutes.
minutes, so.
I'd like to do this tag one more time. Can we
Okay.
go all the way back from where you start them, Gwen?
Yep. 190, 890, 200. Woo-hoo!
And we're just, part of the reason I wanted to cover this last little bit is I just want the difference between the 6th last bar and that 4th last bar. So it really sounds like all of a sudden it's kind of petering out.
Okay.
Oh, there's a little question. Where's the link for the music? It's just up at the top there. That's the long IMSLP link. So if you're looking for the link to this music, we're at the end of the 4th movement, which is the theme and variations movement right now.
Which is called Andante, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Andante, I think.
It's called Andante.
And if you have, we only have a few more minutes, so if you have any questions, write them in the chat now so we can reply. What time? Or where are we going to?
200.
2.
Go ahead, Gwen.
The only thing with what you said, Carl, is that it should be a gradual because Yuri is half bar behind you, so he can't actually change colors where you're changing colors.
Right. Yeah,
it's
I
gonna have
actually
to be
think
a
it's,
gradual
it's-
decay.
it's sort of more, it's more covering two beats there or something. It's not a sudden,
Yeah, it just needs to be, I think it's more of a gradual just
It's a-
decay.
Yeah, it's a change of mood as opposed to a change of real
yeah,
decibel level.
yeah, fair. Can we do this whole majority thing one more time?
Yep.
Sure.
Unless there's questions, we have enough time.
We don't have any questions right now, so
Okay,
go
let's
on.
do this whole last page for me.
Yeah, upbeat.
Yeah.
I liked that.
I thought that worked.
And that worked better.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Good. This was a hard variation, a hard movement, so I'm glad we spent the time on it today.
Yeah.
Well, I think
There we
that's
go.
about all that we have for today. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And let us know whether you like non-vibrato better than vibrato. Not if you like vibrato more than...
Yeah.
And have a great day.
Thanks, guys.